Hi guys, hope you're going well. Let's talk about the sci-fi action movie Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. So this is the follow-up movie or the sequel to Rise of the Planet of the Apes from 2011, which I did see, but like, was okay. I don't know. I haven't really been particularly personally invested in the Planet of the Apes franchise as a whole, so for me, the Rise of the Planet of the Apes was alright. I loved the CG and special effects, but apart from that, I wasn't really invested in the story. And in terms of the Planet of the Apes franchise, I think there's been something like 8 movies in total, and I have seen the original 1968 version of Planet of the Apes, but then I didn't see any of the 70s versions, and then I saw the Tim Burton remake in 2001, but again, nothing special, nothing really memorable that stands out to me. So yeah, overall I haven't really been invested in this franchise. So to walk into this movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I was pretty much blown away. I just really loved it. I just thought they approached the story really delicately and really well. There was some really great themes and layers. I loved this great focus on the ape, like the ape race. I just thought it was just really well handled. The apes are the absolute central figures and community that we're focusing on, with the humans being secondary almost. So that was a great kind of role reversal perspective to take on this whole story, and I was totally into it. This movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, kind of takes place, I think it's something like 10 years or something after the previous movie, and so far Caesar, the main ape chimpanzee, he has taken leadership over his tribe, over his ape community family, and has built up a safe haven for him and his community to exist in, and they seem to have established a great sense of hierarchy and order, and they've developed a great society by which they live. And then what happens next? Oh, then of course, after this 10 years of relative peace and having not seen humans in 10 years and not even sure whether humans still exist, there's a collision and the apes do run into a group of humans. It's really that human interaction that is the catalyst for everything that follows next, whether or not humans and apes are able to coexist together and live in a harmonious existence as two highly intelligent beings that exist on the top of the food chain. In short, you know, if you know anything about this franchise, the answer is no. But the long answer is what's more interesting to watch, how they do try, they do want to live together. Well, some of them do, some of them don't, because everybody is different in these communities. They are very rich and multi-layered, and it's not like the apes think one thing and the humans think another thing. There are layers within these communities, and they all think different things and have different ideas and outlooks and personal experiences that influence their decisions. Andy Serkis as Caesar is amazing. Like, it's mind-blowing. I never for a second thought that these apes, chimpanzees, orangutans, any of them were at any point computer generated. It was flawless, absolutely flawless, and I loved it. I love the facial expressions, I love the attention to detail in the skin, in the hair, in the way they moved. It was just absolutely incredible. And the way Caesar is written as well, he really is this great and wise leader who wants peace. Deep down, he would love to be idealistic and, like, you know, enough to believe that the humans and apes can live harmoniously. Now, in terms of the human performances, they were probably the weakest, but that isn't really their fault. It's just because the apes are so well written that the humans kind of, I mean, they're kind of a little bit more whatever. The main male lead in this, Jason Clarke, who I only just like 5 minutes ago looked him up on IMDb and realized he was Australian. Didn't even know that. But him and his like piercing blue eyes, he doesn't have a lot to do in this movie. He is kind of a bit of a bystander. He wants to help the apes. He like Caesar, they do sort of have a great parallel between them as great leaders, as idealists of people who want peace for their world. Another thing I wanted to mention was the theme of war. I liked how they kind of steered away from any kind of glamorization of any depictions of the war between the two groups, and they just really showed war for what it is, even though you might want one side to win and you might not, you know, you might be picking a side. It's brutal, it's bloody, and at the end of the day, if you have a war like that, you know, nobody is going to be the winner. I think this was a really great summer blockbuster. I loved how they focused on this really great story. The action did take a back seat, not saying that there wasn't great spectacular action moments. I thought that the first half of the movie built well into the story, and then the second half we got some really great action sequences. So I thought, in my opinion, I thought there was a really great blend of story and action. And for me, when I see a summer blockbuster movie, I thought that something like this that balances those two elements is a lot more interesting, rather than just like smash and grab, shoot 'em up like Transformers. So I really love this movie. I thought it was really wonderful. I also appreciated the fact that it is very much a standalone movie. You don't have to have seen the Rise of the Planet of the Apes from before. You don't have to be familiar with the franchise Planet of the Apes at all. If you are, then you might get a few more extra layers from some of the references, but you don't, you know, it's not inherent. You have to have seen it all to understand and to really connect with this story. So that's my thoughts on Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I thought it was a great summer blockbuster, and yeah, really enjoyed it. Have you seen this movie? Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section down below. Make sure you also subscribe to my channel, keep up to date with my other movie reviews, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!